A pregnant Labrador rescued from a slaughterhouse. Oh! It sounds like we heard something here. Let's go check it out, Jiabao. The tall grass rustled faintly under our boots as we approached. The sun was already low, casting golden streaks across the overgrown lot behind the scrapyard. A faint sound, like a tiny whimper, had caught my attention just moments ago. Wow, I whispered. Did you give birth to your puppies here? Jiabao's head lifted slowly. She looked up at me, those large, amber eyes filled not with fear, but exhaustion. A quiet kind of plea shimmered in her gaze. Oh my God, I breathed. Why? Why did you give birth here? The grass around her was matted down, flattened into a makeshift nest. Bits of newspaper and scraps of cloth were mixed in, like she had scavenged whatever she could find to make it softer. Everyone, come look. I called out, trying to keep my voice calm. She gave birth to her puppies right in the grass. Let me see. Let me see. Wow, I whispered. She gave birth to so many. We started counting them carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, someone said softly. It looked like 5 in total, though it was hard to be sure. They were piled on top of each other, nursing greedily. Can I take them with me, okay? I asked Jiabo gently, even though I knew she couldn't answer with words. She only blinked, her ears twitching slightly. She looked at me, then at her babies, then back at me again. Wow, look at this puppy. I picked up the first one carefully, supporting its whole body. Oh my God, it's so cute. I couldn't stop myself from cooing. Shh, don't cry, I whispered to the puppy. I looked down at Jiabao. So adorable look. Doesn't it look just like its mom? But then I paused. All the puppies are black Labradors by the looks of it. That's strange. Jiabao is white. Not sure how that happened. Is this your baby? Look. I held one out gently for her to see. She sniffed it, then licked it once before returning her gaze to me, as if giving her approval. They're chubby and cute, I said. Let's take them inside the house, okay? One by one, I cradled the babies and walked them carefully across the yard. Careful not to squish them, someone reminded me. It wasn't until I had the third in my arms that I noticed something. Wait, 6. There are 6 in total. I brought the first 3 into the small room we had set up with a clean cage, soft towels, and a shallow dish of water. A fan was already running in the corner to keep the air cool. Let's bring the puppies into the room, I said. Let's take them to the cage I've prepared. As I turned around with the next pair, I realized Jiabao was following me. Quietly, closely, not barking, not whining. She stayed just a few paces behind me, never touching me, never rushing, but watching intently. And with each trip I made, carrying another piece of her heart away, she came with me. Each time, that's when I saw it. Not fear, not suspicion, but trust. Wary, fragile trust. Like a thread stretched between us, delicate but unbroken. After I brought the first few puppies into the cage, I turned around, and there she was. The mother, Jiaba. She stood just a few feet away, still and quiet. Not barking, not panicking, just watching me, step by step, as if to ask, where are you taking them? She didn't growl, didn't bite, but she didn't leave either. She followed me every time I walked back for another puppy, not too close, not too far. Close enough to see, to make sure. Like a mother who knows she has to trust someone, but still can't help worrying. And her eyes, they weren't wild like most strays I've seen. There was something else in them. Not fear. Something more human. Like she was holding back, waiting to see if this time someone would do right by her. By the time I settled the last puppy into the cage, I was sweating, dirt all over my hands. I stood up to catch my breath, and that's when I saw him. An old man, standing by the side of the building, leaning on a wooden cane. Thin, bent at the shoulders, with tired eyes that didn't blink much. He wasn't watching me. He was watching her. And then, in a quiet voice, almost like he was talking to himself, he asked, "That white dog, She still answers to the name Jiabao? I turned toward him, a little surprised. I said, we just found her earlier today. She had her puppies hidden in the grass near the edge of the scrapyard. I don't know her name. He stared at her a little longer, then let out a breath. A long one, like he'd been holding it for months. She used to be mine, he said. And that's when he started to tell me her story. He said he raised her from a pup. Bought her from a roadside vendor on a rainy morning, years ago. She was barely 5 weeks old. Wet, shaking, half the size of a shoe. He wrapped her in his jacket and took her home. Named her Jiabao, precious treasure. She became part of his life, more than a pet. He ran a little vegetable stall at the street corner. Every morning, he'd wheel his cart out before sunrise, and Jiabao would trot alongside him, tail wagging, always on his left side. She never needed a leash. She just knew. He told me how she'd lie under the stall while he sold vegetables, how she'd growl at kids who tried to steal garlic, and how she once chased off a man who tried to snatch his wallet. I never taught her to protect me, he said. She just knew. He talked like a man remembering a better time, slowly, with warmth, but also pain. Then came the hard part of the story. He got sick last winter. The kind of sickness that doesn't go away. He started coughing up blood, lost weight fast. He couldn't walk to the market anymore, couldn't push the cart. His niece came from another city, took one look at the place, and said he needed help. She arranged for him to stay at a small clinic outside town. But she had one rule: we're not bringing the dog. He tried to argue. She wouldn't listen. He asked neighbors to take Jiabao, but none of them wanted her. Some were scared. Some were just tired of helping. So one morning, still coughing, he biked Jiabao out past the factories. He thought maybe someone would find her. Maybe she'd follow another kind soul. I didn't even tie her, he said, his voice low. I just set her down, patted her head, and told her, I'm sorry. He looked away for a second, and I saw his hand tremble slightly on the cane. She didn't chase me. She just sat there and watched as I rode away. He thought of her every day after that. He said sometimes, in the middle of the night, he'd imagine hearing her bark outside the clinic window. But every time he looked, there was no one there. I thought I left her behind forever, he said. I didn't know she was carrying life inside her. When he saw her again today, alive and safe, with puppies no less, he didn't cry. But his eyes were red, not the kind of red from tears, the kind from memories that never leave. He bent down beside the cage, careful with his knees. Jiabao looked at him. No barking, no tail wagging, but no fear either. She always was a good girl, he said softly. Too good, too loyal. She trusted me more than I deserved. For a moment, the only sound was the tiny whimpers of nursing puppies, the soft hum of the fan, and a few distant dogs barking somewhere beyond the walls. Then he turned to me. You'll take care of her now, right? He asked. I nodded. I told him she wasn't alone anymore. That we had food, blankets, fresh water. That she and her babies were safe. That we wouldn't leave her behind, not this time. He didn't say another word. Just nodded, stood slowly, and walked away, one small step at a time. And Jiabao, she didn't follow him. She stayed. With her puppies. With me.